more from you guys as well, as far as what you guys offer in your trainings, and we can learn from one another as well. So today we're going to identify and implement at least two icebreakers, some brain break strategies that can be used during your train session. Hopefully, we'll be able to use at least two of the technology tools or AI applications and learn ways that can support your training and preparation, as well as your delivery, and hopefully engage your participants. And describe and apply at least two participant engagement activities, such as small group discussions, interactive questioning, or collaborative activities that promote active participation. So we're going to get started and we're going to have an activity. Oops, I'm going the wrong way here. So we're going to get out your phones and you're going to scan the QR code. Now, what better way to interact to your audience than utilizing their cell phones, right? One thing that we try that we know people are always on, and no better way than to get them to use it. So we're going to go into, I'm going to give you a moment to scan, and then I'm going to stop sharing, and then we're going to show the results. But think about the most engaging training that you've attended and what made that training effective. Did everybody get a chance to scan? I'm going to stop sharing. Bunan's going to share his screen. Oh, I apologize. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm getting too excited and I forgot to do introductions. I just feel like everybody knows me already. My name is Brooke Rickey. I'm the Director of Professional Development here at the Early Care and Learning Council. I have my coworker, Budan, who's helping me navigate some of the behind the scenes, and Kayla as well. So, oh, they're waving. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. I'm just very excited here. All right. So Budan, you're going to share your screen so we can see the results now. We'll talk about that. And if you didn't get a chance to scan, the QR will be on this screen as well. All right. Can we make that a little bit bigger? Oh, that's smaller. All right, let's see. So try to read this. So we have presenter. I can't see that, Bunan. I don't know if you can make it bigger. Anyway. There we go. Okay. Stories from the presenter, standing activities. Yep. In-person interaction. That would be nice. A lot of our trainings are now virtual, right? So having some with that in person, real life experience. So the bigger the word, the more times somebody had typed that. So everybody's saying the presenter, right? So what's made the training effective is the actual presenter. Real life, sharing those real life experiences, acting silly and learning. Yep, that's my way of going about it. Fun activities, animated storytelling, ability to be creative, moving, humor, adding humor, right? Hands-on group work, engaging, learned lots of hands-on, relatability, right? No monotone here. Group activities. Let's see, relevance. Does anybody want to share an experience that they had with a great presenter or training that they went to? Or one great technique that you utilize to make your training effective? How about that? Anybody like to share?
I'll break the silence. I got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, One thing I do is use all of the learning styles. So I do a lot of audio, visual, kinesthetic, tactile learning within my training. So I've gotten a lot of feedback with that with participants and touching on all of their learning styles. So
Good one. I do an actual training for directors that we talk about learning styles and making sure that you actually know the learning styles of your staff and the people that you're training. You have to touch on all of those areas. So great, Alicia. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else like to share? Sue, you've been
Uh,
here a long time training. You're supposed to be retired, aren't you, Sue? You're muted. You're muted. Sorry. I know that you bring some great things to your trainings. Do you have anything you could share?
semi-retired. Excuse my political incorrectness. Um, so, it's got to be that body-brain connection. So having them actively participating. Lately, I've been doing, no surprise, eco-healthy childcare trainings. And I, which by the way, there's a training of trainers on Wednesday, April 22nd, still open, the day before the NAE, New York AEYC conference. You can go to their website and register, $25 only. So anyway.
Way to plug, Sue. Way to plug.
So in that training, I give them a handout of one of the core principles of eco-healthy childcare and ask them with their table, discuss something new to you or something you want to know more about or something you already knew and you can share more with your colleagues. So to give them that opportunity for the much needed talk.
Share out, right.
Yep. And also get information, hopefully process it pretty quickly.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. Tammy, I see your hand, Tammy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, so I think one of the best ones that I do is during health and safety or during child abuse and maltreatment is the one with the rock. They really seem to like that one where we're talking about observation and documentation and how important that is. And it's real hands-on. So they have to look at the rock or the potato or whatever we choose to use. We used to use peanuts, but we don't do that anymore. Where they have to look at the peanut and the rock and they have to document exactly what they're seeing. And then we put them all in a lineup, and then they have to pick somebody else's documentation and they have to identify which one it is. And we just laugh and laugh and laugh. And sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. But it really shows how important documentation is. And it's somebody else's writing. So it really is, it's just fun, but it goes to show how important it is to really be clear on your documentation. And it gives them a little bit of practice time, but it's so important to give them that piece of information. I think everybody really likes that and it gets them into it. And I think it's just the hands-on plus the practice and the writing and the skills.
So what I'm hearing is how you really attract them initially, right? Like, so what
Absolutely.
are you starting with that's going to kind of lighten the air to get them really starting to open up and engage, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a great way of kind of, gathering what you and Sue said, the activities that you initially start with, right? And right. I feel like a lot of us do start with icebreakers, and we are going to start with icebreakers. We are going to talk about icebreakers too. But thank you for sharing that. And we'll share the results to this so everybody can kind of see as well with the handouts afterwards. So thank you for participating. There we go. So we're going to do another activity, and we're going to say, why engagement matters. Engaged learners are more likely to what, right? We're hoping that they are going to retain the information, but we all know that within a maybe hour or up to 3 hour presentation, what's the percentage of the information that they're really going to remember? It's very minimal. It's like 25 to 30%, right? And so what are we making sure that they take with them when they leave? How are they going to apply that new knowledge? And I feel like a lot of the ways that we can ensure they're applying is following up, right? sending an email or creating a chat that everybody can join to kind of just follow up with one another. How are we going to make sure that participants participate in discussions, and how are they going to remain focused throughout the training? So you can click on, I think you need to put that link in the chat for Padlet. There you go. Thank you, Kayla. Click on the link and we're going to try another activity. We're going to utilize Padlet. So click in there. Stop share. Hold on a second. And we're going to write down. So is anybody familiar with Padlet? Some people, yes, some people no. It's kind of like an interactive whiteboard. It's just another thing that we can do. I'm going to share my screen to kind of show you guys how to do it. Here we go. So is this what you're seeing when you click in? If you click to the right, you can click post to enter your thoughts, and then you can write right in there. Let me see. Pay attention, right? So we're going to jot down ideas of why engagement matters. So you click on this little pencil on the side, and then where's the little notepads? I thought they were on the left. Eraser. There we go. So you're going to click on the left where it says post, and then you can send a picture, you can send an attachment, you can create an image, but typically on the bottom you're just going to write something, right? And then you can change the color if you click on that, write something beautiful. So everybody click on that bottom right post, and let's get everybody engaged on why engagement matters. I want to hear from you. Why does engagement matter in trainings? And you just hit publish when you're done. You can go in and have fun with it. You can go in and change the color. Yeah. All right, so let's see what people are saying. Check for understanding, ensure information is being processed, boost long-term learning, the training flows better, retention of material. I mean, how many times have we had audiences where nobody says anything, right? Now I'm pulling in from all you guys, right? And our hopes as trainers are going to participate. They know we need that participation, right? So this is why we want them to be engaged, because they could really be not really paying attention. Does anybody offer, like when you're doing virtual trainings, do you give any types of guidelines to your participants as to like how to limit distractions? We usually provide, it's called like Zoom etiquette. Does anybody offer that? Do any of those things for their trainings?
Yeah, I have like a welcome page, and I just ask that everyone's cameras stay on, that they try to refrain from taking phone calls. My training's usually around an hour long because they're business trainings, a lot of information.
Yeah.
Obviously, I let them know, like, I know emergencies happen. We just want to make sure everyone's getting the most out of it, because I think that's important. And be engaged, participate.
Right. We're encouraging for them to be engaged, right? But are we giving them the information of why it's important that they're engaged, right? So we really have to kind of talk a little bit about why it's really important that they're going to be engaging in the training. I see in the chat box that Morgan has them sign a training agreement with Zoom etiquette. That's good. Is it something that you wrote, Morgan? You like created? Maybe she can't talk. Oh, she has no microphone. Sorry about that. Okay, here you go. No worries. Gabrielle said, on the rare occasion we do Zoom trainings, we have a second person who monitors and asks participants to put their camera on or mute or unmute so the trainer doesn't have to stop. And I also make sure that they have their cameras on in order to get, it's required that they have their cameras on in order to get training credit. Hey, Jamie, thanks for signing in. We'll put the sign in into the chat again. You could sign in that way as well. Thank you. Thanks for coming on today. Yep, there you go. Thank you. All right, let's see what else. Understanding, retention of material, training flows better, clarification, accountability. I mean, right. So these are all things of why it's important. We know why engagement matters, right? And we really want to make sure that we're doing interactive things such as activities like that, like this, and the Mentimeter. That's going to really engage the participants instead of listening to us and watching a slideshow without any interaction, right? Thank you for signing in. Okay, let me switch back here. This is what happens when you're working from home with, two less screens. So you got to navigate some of this fun stuff. All right. So now we're going to talk about icebreakers like I had mentioned before. So icebreakers help participants feel comfortable in participating, connect with others, begin interacting early in the session. And we need to remember to kind of keep icebreakers short and low pressure, right? Because this is the initial thing that we're getting training starting with, and we don't want to make them feel comfortable right off the get-go, right? So we want to do something that's fun and interactive, but yet not too overwhelming. If it was up to me, we would be sharing a fun fact, but everybody at my job hates that fun fact thing. So I share it anyway. I always tease everybody, we're going to do trust falls. Everybody's afraid of trust falls, so I want to hear from you guys. What types of icebreakers do you offer? And let's just kind of, are we going into the breakout rooms? Are we going to try that? Yes. So here's some examples, but we're going to go into breakout rooms, and I want you to have some discussions with some folks in the breakout rooms about what types of icebreakers you guys offer or have done or wish you would do. And then please designate somebody to share out when we come back together after 5 minutes. Okay? So Budon's going to send everybody into a breakout room, and we're going to talk
Breakout room
about...
should be all set.
There you go. Thank you. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Did you move, Lindsay? Somebody did.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. She might not have seen it though, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think it works out. I think every room has 5 except for one,
Perfect.
which has
Or 6, right? Yeah.
Tammy
Or 5, yeah.
wants
Okay.
a kind of like a how-to walkthrough for each one. I thought that was a good idea. We can
What do you mean?
like training on like how to actually go in and like create an account, use it so that they can implement it in their trainings. I'm pretty sure that's what she means.
How to create an account for like Padlet?
Yeah, Padlet, Mentimeter,
Okay.
etc.
Amanda said word cloud. Did she message you?
Tammy? It's right under Amanda's.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Brooke, can you do a
I
training
don't like
using
the
some
look of this.
these?
It's so the new look, isn't it weird?
I don't
Yeah,
like it
it's
at
like,
all.
yeah.
I can't. I don't like the black screen. I need it white. I don't know if that's a setting or what.
I think someone changed the setting,
That's weird. I don't like it.
but I think it's an accessibility thing, so that's probably why.
Oh, I see it now. Brooke, can you do the, yeah. I'm gonna shut, if you guys are monitoring participants, I'm just gonna shut that so I can have the entire. That's good. People are still talking. Here they come. Hey, Jasmine, I haven't seen you in a while either.
Yeah, that's because you switched over to the dark side, Brooke.
I know. Congratulations on your pregnancy.
Thank you. I'm
So
really
excited for you.
feeling it these
Oh
days.
boy. Awesome. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for participating. People were still having conversations, which is a good thing. You never know how much time is too long or too short when you're doing these trainings. So hopefully 5 minutes was good enough that we could brainstorm a few good ideas. So we're going to start with group one. That's Amanda, Resources of Rockland, Isabel, and Jordan. Would you mind sharing what kind of icebreakers you guys do?
I will go ahead and speak for my team.
Thank you, Amanda.
So we went over a couple of different ones. Somebody had said, I think it was Jordan that had said, one that she did for training on staff shortage is balloons, and then they all have to keep the balloons up like they're kids, and she tap on somebody's shoulder to have them step out. So kind of showing them how important it is to have everybody there, because if not, you're juggling all these extra kids, and what happens when you don't have enough staff. So I really thought that was cool. And she did say, make sure the staff that you're doing with doesn't have latex allergies.
That's good.
Yep. Another one was a tea bag and a teapot, and it says different activities and stuff on it to spill the tea.
Oh, that's cute.
And I said too, we don't use it very often because we don't normally have a big group, but we have an activity ball that you toss, and then whatever your thumb lands on, that's the
the thumb
activity or the
balls,
action
right?
that you do. Yep.
Yeah, the thumb ball.
Yep.
You can order those too. I go on a good site. They're called Trainer's Warehouse. Actually, everybody wants to always steal my finger fidgets, and that's where I get them from.
Oh, okay.
And they have really good thumb balls, and they have themed ones. I also have a
nice.
blank one that you can write with like a dry erase marker onto it, like whatever you want it to say. But they have different themed ones that you can buy that are
Nice.
pretty cool too. And the stuff's fairly inexpensive through them. So, does everybody give finger fidgets at your trainings? I see Emily's head shaking. Yes. Yep. Shakia. Yep. I mean, I feel like we all some of us, maybe not all, but at least if it's offered, it gives them something to do while you're listening. I'm one of those too. So I literally have this in my hand right now, like squeezing it. So yeah. All right. Thank you for sharing. Group two, which is Jackie, Carrie, Karen, Lisa, Morgan. Do you mind sharing what you guys talked about?
I guess I can share.
Thank you.
Yep. So mostly it seems like what we talked about were trainings that we are doing more online. So we weren't talking about specific activities that you could do in an interactive way where you're actually touching things.
Right.
Jackie,
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Jackie talked about how a lot of times the trainings that she's doing with providers are, they're more like at dinner time and that kind of thing, or, as people are making dinner. So in order to make that connection with providers and that they're all in this together, she'll say, what are you making for dinner? Which just kind of breaks the ice and helps everybody know that, okay, we're all here together. We're going to do this. We talked about how we sometimes use things that we want to use for our training. So a shared experience, but that we want to use that's thematic with the topic that we're doing. So for example, if you're doing a training where we're talking about providers and how they perhaps need to be regulated or be present, in order to help the kids, we talk about, an adult in your life from when you were small that really made a connection with you, and how did they do that? So that we then can look at that. And we talked about how a lot of times people just want to share together with things because they want new ideas that they can use tomorrow in their
Exactly.
classroom. And so a lot of the things we talked about were really shared connection and speaking things.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. That's great. We have to keep that in mind too, because I'm sure a lot of your guys' trainings are virtually too. So how do we make our trainings as interactive as possible while, through a screen, right? And we're here to learn a little bit more ideas from you guys about that today. Room 3, Alicia, Chelsea, Jenny, Christy, Lindsay. What did you guys talk about?
Can you guys hear me?
We can. Hi,
Okay,
Christy.
so I'm going to share. Hi. So I'm going to share one that I was actually a part of. And I loved it because it was super simple, but it was really effective just to kind of get people warmed up. And it was literally 6 pictures of different llamas with different emotions on their faces. And the trainer started out by just asking us to kind of look at the pictures and tell which number we connected with and a little bit of why. And this was a Zoom training. And there was one that was kind of like laughing. There was one that was sleeping. There was one that looked like this really goofy face. And he just said, give us an idea of what number you connect with. And it was just a good way for us to kind of check in, because he's like, I recognize that some of you are probably really tired. You're coming off a break, or you just had this really big thing going on. And I liked it just because people started really laughing and letting their guards down. And it leveled the playing field, like right off the bat. And it just started things off in a really just light way. And, again, a whole group of people who really didn't know each other just really kind of made these connections just through fun and being silly and not just serious. And those people who knew that they couldn't really participate at the level they wanted to, it was kind of a nice way for him to kind of understand, I don't have 100% to give today. I'm feeling more like the sleepy llama. So it was
Great.
fun, and it was cute.
That's great. I've been to one where they did kids' faces like that instead of a funny, we just relating it back to kids with all the kids' faces, and that was kind of cute too. I liked that activity. Oh, thank you, Kayla, for putting the sign in. A couple people just signed back on. Okay, let's see here. Our next group: Emily, Erica, Kelsey, Tammy, and Victoria. What do you guys do for icebreakers?
So we talked about a few things that were already mentioned. We talked about the thumb ball.
Yep.
We also talked about like the assorted candies that you pick up, and then each one has a prompt of like, what are you most afraid of? Or what is your favorite activity to do outside of work? We also talked about like I call it turn and return, so that you turn to your neighbor, have to learn about them a bit, and then report back out to the group about your neighbor. And then I got nominated for this because I've done this on Zoom, and I'll just put a picture up on like sharing my screen, and each person has to write down like a few words that come to mind about the picture. And then you come back together and you ask everyone to kind of share a couple words, and everybody always has different words, and I tie it back to like a safe container, and like we have to respect each other's perspectives, and we all have different backgrounds, and see different things that are the same in different ways. So and that works nice virtual as well.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, the turn and return, what would you just pair people off and put them in breakout groups?
So I haven't used that one virtually, but
Yeah.
I mean, I do that, I think.
Yeah. I've done something similarly where you'll do that, but then you have the other person introduce the other person, right? So
Yes,
they
that's
learn
what they were
about
doing.
that.
I'm sorry, I might have explained that wrong. That's what they had them do.
Yeah, they had to introduce them and do, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've done that too. Great. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Room 5, which is Gladys, Jasmine, Michelle, Sue, and Tracy.
I can share for our group.
Thanks, Jasmine.
We definitely discussed more of like our style in terms of facilitating icebreaker activities rather than giving actual examples
Examples.
of that. So
Yeah,
I'll go and share that.
that's okay. That's fine.
We talked about like sharing our own background information, getting participants comfortable with us as trainers, noticing things within the environment, especially if we're training virtually and seeing them through a screen. And then also taking into consideration the participants themselves. So, whether you're doing a training for a program who already has established relationships and comfort levels with each other, because they're colleagues and they work within the same culture. Or if you are training a multi-facility or for a community agency and people who might not know each other, it's going to impact the activity that you're facilitating to get them all comfortable and introducing the concept of what you're training on.
Yeah, so true, right? And a lot of our trainings, and I know for you guys, they could be required by OCFS. So like they don't want to be there, right? They have to be there. So they come in with that guard already up because they're being forced to be in this training. So how do we break that guard initially, right? To get them to start interacting and for them to realize that the information that we're teaching them might be repetitive, but yet you're going to learn new things from the people that are in the trainings, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for sharing. Room 6, Jamie, Mary, and Marianne.
I can share out if it's okay. We didn't really choose somebody, but
Okay.
we all kind of had different experiences. Like some of us train mostly in person, some of us were very new to training. So we kind of talked about the differences. Like training in person, it's a little bit it's more hands-on, just the physical
Yeah.
space. So you
Yeah.
can do more things. There were some things like true or false, which you can also do virtually, but you can break them into groups, kind of pair off a little bit easier. Some of the things that we talked about were icebreakers that kind of help us to get to know the participants. So maybe like, how long have you been working in the field? Or, from 0 to 5, how much comfort do you have with this topic or how much knowledge do you have on this topic? So things that kind of help you know what your participants are coming in with that can guide the training. And
Yeah.
then for me, I've been doing a lot of virtual trainings. So for me, I like things that just kind of automatically come up because I never know who's going to have a lot of experience and comfort with technology, or if I'm going to have someone like, I can't get into the room, I can't open the link, I can't do this.
Yep.
So I love things like polls that automatically pop up or
Yeah.
something that automatically takes them there, or even using like this or that, where it comes up on the screen and they can either do like comments in the chat or even waterfalls.
Yeah.
Like everybody
We're
type in
gonna
the
do a
chat.
waterfall later. That's funny that you said that.
I love that. And I'm so excited to see Jasmine. I just fangirled for a second because I miss her so much.
Oh, I know. I haven't seen you guys in so long.
Oh my gosh. So,
Well, thank you for
yeah,
sharing. That's great.
no
Right.
problem.
And I think another fun one I would do sometimes is the purse game. You do those at like baby showers or whatever, but or an item at their desk that they can utilize, like, and it symbolizes something. And then they have to describe why that item's important to them or something like that. It's super easy for people. Like you get some really funny items, or you get people that don't really try and they share a paper clip, but they analyze the paper clip really well. So that's all that matters, right? So there's a whole bunch, and I jotted some notes down, and I'm going to write all these in the notes to share with everybody afterwards. So thank you for sharing all those great icebreakers. Anything else that wants to share that didn't get a chance to? No? Okay. Brain breaks. So who does brain breaks? Does anybody do brain breaks? Jamie, I see brain breaks. Okay, Jasmine. Well, we're going to do brain break, but I think brain breaks actually kind of take them out. You don't have to do a brain break necessarily related to any of the topic. It can be completely off topic. And I feel like off topic brain breaks kind of fit in well because it gets them energized. And we're going to do that. So everybody's going to have to get up in a minute. And we're going to be participating in this brain break. So let me go here. Let me stop share because I have to share my screen. So if you don't want to get up and do this activity, you could do it from a chair, I suppose, but it'll be way more fun and it'll be definitely more funny to watch everybody if you're standing up doing this. So let me share this. All right, I gotta share sound. Here we go. So this is a fun brain break. Actually, we brought this brain break to our staff meeting, and then we have multiple groups within our staff. So we did it like 2 different times. So everybody really liked it. So we haven't done this one yet. So for the ECLC folks that are on, this is a new one. But this is Yoo-Hoo videos, and we're gonna do a brain break. So hold on a second, because I want to see everybody, and I can't see everybody right now. All right, ready? Can you guys see my screen? Just making sure.
Yoo-hoo! It's time for a brain break, the games where we energize our body to ignite our mind. This game is called Two Types of People. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more great games. In this game, you're going to choose what type of person are you, type A or type B. You'll have 10 seconds to pick the side and 20 seconds to do the matching activity. Here we go with round 1. How do you like ketchup with your French fries? Are you like side A and pour your ketchup over top of all the fries?
I think we see your screensaver.
Your best. I don't know why it's doing that.
Brooke.
Hold on, I apologize because it just blanked out on me too. Sorry about that. What's it doing? Gotta love it when it doesn't work. Here we go.
Sometimes that happens in real life, so it's good.
Oh, right. Like of all times, it's gotta happen.
You set your alarm. Your side A if you.
Okay, here we go.
To do the math. Round 1. How do you like ketchup with your French fries? Are you like side A and pour your ketchup over top of all the fries? Or side B, make a puddle and dip it?
What are you guys, A or B?
If you pick side A,
B.
you get to do speed bet.
B.
If you pick side B,
All right, let's see
you
some
get to do
squats here.
squats.
I'm doing my squats. Get my exercise in.
That's right. You get your exercise
I
in.
love
It's gonna
that,
be 3
Jasmine.
minutes exercise.
Round 2. When you set your alarm, your side A if you only set 1 alarm. Your side B if you have to set 4 or 5 alarms.
I'm side B. What are you guys? A or B?
I'm B.
A.
Oh,
Side
let me
A,
just say,
you get to do standing toe touches.
1 alarm?
If
I
you
would
pick
never do
side
that.
B,
I would hit
you
snooze
get to
and never
run in
wake up.
place.
Oh my God. Run.
Lunges, run. Here we go. There he goes. It's not
When you
blurry
eat a
anymore.
chocolate bar, your side A if you just bite into it. And your side B if you break it into small
A
pieces.
or B? What is it? I think I'm B. What do you guys?
A.
If you
A?
pick side A, you get to do squat punches. If you pick side B,
Oh,
you get to balance in star
balance.
pose. When it comes to toilet paper, your side A if you think
Are
the
you
flap
under or
will
over
use
for
towards
toilet
the
paper?
wall,
A or
or
B?
side
What's
B
the majority?
if you think the flap should be pointing out.
B? Oh, unfortunately, I am A.
A.
If you pick side A, you get to balance on 1 foot. If you pick side B, you get to do standing elbows to knees.
And Emily, you're A too. I see that. Chelsea B. Oh, Jasmine A. All right. It's an even split.
When you send messages, do you send multiple messages, one after another? Then you're side
That's
A.
me, side
If
A.
you send one
Unfortunately.
message with all the information, then you're
A or
side
B? What are you guys?
A,
If you pick side
definitely.
A, you get to dance the floss.
I'm A
If
too.
you pick
Oh,
side
dance
B,
the floss.
you get to run in slow motion.
B. All right. Yep. No, I don't send a. A. All right. Yep.
When you make a sandwich, do you like it cut diagonally into triangles? Then you're side A. If you like it cut
Isn't she
horizontally
not cutting it
into
wrong on side
rectangles,
B though
then
too?
you're
That
side
drove,
B.
that drove me a little crazy.
I
Pick side
do
A.
A.
You get to do
That just
jumping
You do
threw me
A?
jacks.
off.
You pick side B.
No, I
You
go
get to
B, but I
balance
don't
and
cut it the way
pose.
she does. I go like, you cut it like half the wrong way. B, yep.
Yeah, definitely B, but she cut it very
She
chaotic
cut it
on
the wrong
side
way,
B.
right?
I
That's
was
why
like
I
a
was
little
like, I don't
bothered
cut
by that. Yeah.
it.
Would you like to help us continue to make awesome content? Don't forget to check out.
So, what do you guys think of that? Was that
That
fun?
was fun. That was fun.
We got
Definitely
our
was
whole
fun.
staff last time up and exercising. People were out of breath. It was like totally not related, right? But they're getting out of their seats, being active. They always want to stretch break. Doing something like that, I feel is fun. They have a lot of brain breaks that you can find on YouTube. I just highly recommend you watch them just to make sure before you share them. But there are some fun ones. The Yoo-hoo, it's UJU, have a lot of videos. And you can kind of pick sometimes you can pick the audience as to like who you're going to be like hosting, and then it'll kind of relate it to certain things with the audience, which is kind of neat. Because they had one for teachers and stuff like that you can designate one for. So
I'm thinking if you're doing a Zoom and you ask participants, are you A or B? If you could either sign A or B, or easier for most people, side 1 or side 2. So you can just hold up fingers and you can see on your screen who's alike and different.
you could do that as well, right? If you didn't want to exercise. Or a different type of questions, right? Whatever questions that you would ask, you could do something similar to that too, as well, right? I think that I shared here another type of. We talked about this earlier. The chat storm, which we're going to do. You could do a poll, which could be a quick break, a reflection pause, or just a general stretch break, right? You don't have. You could just give them a minute to just stretch. A lot of people do maybe a yoga pose or do anything like that. Does anybody offer or do any of the brain breaks in your trainings? And if so, what do you guys do?
I know we had a training the other night, and Jenny, who was the person at the time speaking, she did a stretch break for everyone because they were sitting for so long, and just to get them up and moving and wiggle it out and shake it out. So,
Yeah, right. So just a general stretch break, right?
mm-hmm.
Which is fine. Anyone else? I have them do some of the go. Oh yeah, the go noodle. That's a good one too. The go noodle brain breaks for kids. It is. I'm huge on brain breaks with kids, but it doesn't occur to me that to do it with adults. Duh. Yeah, you can do it with adults. They like having fun too. We like having fun too, right? But the goal noodle is good. I'm gonna write that down and provide that with you guys. Anything you do for the kids, they can do too. Okay, great. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit about technology tools, kind of like automatically what we've already been doing today, but here's a few. When I send you guys the link to this PowerPoint presentation, all the links are active links that you can click on, and it'll bring you to more information on all of these. I know that Tammy, you were asking for information or show you how to sign on to these. So all of the links within here will give you more information on how to do that. Like Mentimeter, there's free aspects of each of them, but there's some cost that involves in some of them. Like Kahoot, we wanted to do like a multiple choice game, but it would only allow less than 10 participants for free. And then if you had any more than 10, there's a charge. Our organization pays for Mentimeter. So with one subscription, we are all able to access it. So if it's something that you can utilize within, your CCRC, everybody can share it. So, the money might be worth it in the end. Padlet was free. And then Slido is another one. And of course, the digital whiteboards that come with you can utilize it through Zoom. They have a digital whiteboard on Zoom now, which is great. So these are all technology tools that can help with that. And we're trying them all out for you today. So right now we're going to just, what's one technology tool you currently use in a training, or what one would you like to try? Let's do a shout out. So anybody could just unmute or utilize the chat box, and let's talk about the different technology tools that you guys use in the training. Do you use what I've been using today? Do you use Padlet? Do you use Mentimeter? Jamboard? I know Jamboard. I miss Jamboard. They got rid of it. A lot of people with Mentimeter are great, right? Because Mentimeter, you can do word clouds, you can do multiple choice, you can do a whiteboard. Yep. See, a lot of people are doing, and I feel like it's affordable. You have a Jeopardy program you use too? What's that, Amanda? I'm interested to hear about that. What's that?
I guess I should have looked up the name. I'll do that real quick and get back to you.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just going to stop share because for some reason I cannot see participants all of a sudden. So I'll just share in a second. What other technologies use? The Jeopardy program idea. Yep. Google Slides. Oh, Wheel of Names. That's like one of my things that my go-to, right? So you put all the names of the participants in, you spin, it automatically will select, and then it will take away the person after they answer a question, or if you're trying to find a winner. I always do that. What's Duck
Jeopardy
Race?
Labs.
Jeopardy Labs?
Yep. It's a website.
Is it free?
I think you can create a free one, but we've paid for it, so we've got kind of access to save them and all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Wheel of Names is free. You can find that online. Google Slides, Zoom polls, of course, that's definitely easy. You could set Zoom polls up in advance. So then, you don't have to be scrambling to put the questions in. When you schedule your Zoom, you can set up all the polls that you want and the questions, and you just click on that, which is really great. Oh, thank you, Amanda. She put the link in there. What's Duck Race, Amanda, Alicia?
So we often use it for like if we're picking a few people to like if it's a small group and nobody's really talking, we'll kind of like, okay, who's gonna be like group one and group two, and we'll kind of like go through and have it like there's like 5 ducks and they just go through, they quack, and then they like stop at the finish line, and then the name gets off, and something different kind of gives them a little break in between them. But they love like, oh, go duck, and it's quite entertaining. They yell a lot at the
So how does
computer.
the duck move? How's the duck moving?
It's like a whole live race type of thing. It's like a rubber duck. Yeah.
All right, that sounds great. That sounds fun. A lot of Mentimeters, Padlet. Somebody else uses Padlet. Kim, I see you're starting to use Padlet more. I know. So great. So you are familiar with most of the things that we're sharing today, and a lot of you guys are utilizing something, right? Some interactive modality into your training. That's what we want to encourage. All right, great. I don't understand why, like when I share my screen, I can't see it all of a sudden, but we're just rolling with the punches here. Okay. Why is it doing this? See, this is what's screwing me up, and I'm going to be honest. Zoom had an update, and it completely changed the overall look of everything. And so I don't know where things are. And this just happened to me because it wasn't like this when we tried Zoom last week. So this is the update that it's doing to me. Did anybody else see the update of what's going on here? You can choose like how you want it to share. It's weird. Like if you want my 2 screens shared at once, you can opt to do that, which they've never had that option before. Okay. So artificial intelligence and training, right? It's kind of a hot topic right now with AI. And I really want to kind of get the pulse as to how you guys are utilizing AI and if you are utilizing AI. But AI can help trainers generate some activities. I know a lot of us trainers go to AI to get some cool training titles. That's really good with the new ideas for titles for your trainings. It helps you develop training outlines, creates discussion questions, analyzes evaluation responses, right? We all know that. We can utilize it this way. And an example AI prompt is, it's specific, you have to be very specific if you want to get the correct answer. And I actually just saw something on TikTok and it said, if you backslash respond as a human, I don't know if this works, but it said respond as a human and then you ask it its question, it gives you more of a human instead of like a more of like a AI type of answer. So I have to try that out. But being specific on how, the questions that you ask, like create 3 interactive activities for a childcare director training, right? So it's highlighting who it's for. It's during a training, you're asking for a specific amount of numbers of activities with it being interactive, right? So you're trying to be as descriptive as possible. AI can also assist with the slides, reflection questions, and summaries. And some sample sites is Beyond, which Beyond is pretty cool. I learned about Beyond in one of my trainings that I attended through National AUIC. It creates animated stories, realistic visuals, or a mix of both. So you can like put in information and it actually creates like a short video for you to like share during your, like a scenario, which I thought that was pretty cool. And then Gamma AI, which quickly generates visually appealing web content like presentations or documents, web pages, just from text prompts. So that's pretty cool. How do you guys currently use AI? If you are using AI, I'm just stopping because I can't see it again. So you've uploaded a handout and it's giving you an activity to use for it. Great, right? It can be useful. We're not having it create the content, but we can have it enhance our content, right? I think that's what's important to really know. It's like we're not just putting an idea in there and saying create me a training, because guess what? Anybody can do that now. So we want to be able to take our knowledge and utilize that when creating, but then also we can use AI to create, some cool activities. How else is anybody utilizing AI? Or not? Who's against AI? Jasmine, I'm against
AI.
AI.
To help with scenarios. Sorry.
People aren't using it. It scares them, right? Once you start using it, it's a nice tool.
It is creepy.
To help with scenario.
Would you say? I'm sorry.
I've used it to help create scenarios, but you do have to go in as the human and the person with the experience that knows what a childcare center actually looks like and what regulations they have to follow, so that you can like tweak the scenario or say that this scenario won't work because it doesn't encompass what you know about, OCFS regulations and things like that.
Yeah, what I did is I uploaded the OCFS regulations into AI. So the answers it gives me is all based upon regulation. Yeah. And it does do that very well. So you just have to be mindful of what you're uploading, and then it will use that. Isabel had AI create the practice worksheets for an Excel training, so she didn't have to come up with mock situational records for participants to edit and practice with the team to learn Excel skills, and they were focused on. That's great, right? So you can do things like that, create activities. Some of them can be very time consuming, where AI can create it within seconds, right?
I've used it to find a video, like if I'm having a hard time finding a video and I want to add something, I want to add one to the training. Sometimes I can put in whatever topic I'm using and ask it to suggest some videos, and it'll come up with useful links.
Definitely. All right. We're going to skip that. So just some strategies that we've discussed, Dave, to engage participants. Obviously, we know to ask open-ended questions, encourage discussion, using breakout groups. I mean, we can encourage discussion, and I kind of do it as well. Like if nobody answers, like when I'm asking a question, I'll call on them. So people don't usually like that, but there's a nice way about to do it. Like, hey, so what do you think, Alicia? So they're kind of forced to talk a little bit. Providing real world examples. We talked about that earlier. and offer multiple ways to participate, right? So if they don't want to unmute, they can use the chat box. There's other ways that they can participate. Okay, we're running out of time here, which is great. So we're gonna skip this because this was going to be a breakout session. But this is just something to think about when participants appear disengaged. What do we do, and how do we get them re-engaged, right? And this is my chat storm. So we're going to do this to end because it's pretty cool. So in the chat storm, we're going to talk about this question here. What strategies could the trainer use? How do you re-engage participants? And we're going to type that into our chat box, but don't hit enter until I say go. So I'm going to give everybody 1 minute to type in the chat box how to re-engage participants. And then when I say go, everybody will hit enter. All right, is everybody done for the most part? All right, so 1, 2, 3, enter. This new version doesn't do it justice because you have to like scroll down. All right. So ultimately, if the chat box was up, it's not showing how it's not really moving the way it used to. It kind of just moves and like all the questions kind of go as a chat storm, but it's not working like that today. But people are saying, ask a question, throw in a funny saying, water to the waterfall, chat, share an example that you've experienced, reassess and adapt, tell a joke, the brain breaks, brain activity, change topics, right? Yes, we will share the information with you afterwards as well. Let's see, ask a relevant question. What I had here is like, you could just ask my general question and let them use the emojis that's on here, the reaction buttons, just to kind of engage them. Like, is everybody good to move on? Thumbs up, thumbs down, taking a pulse, a reflection, just a check-in like we did. Really quick, I'll just share the last 2 slides. So obviously we know to get that evaluation at the end of our trainings in order to adjust our pacings, clarifying different topics, improving future trainings, and identifying the participants' needs. Especially, I think it's useful when it's multiple days. Like a lot of our virtual trainings, we offer, 2 to 3 days, and getting that fast feedback form, like at the end of day 1, if there's anything you need to adjust for day 2 and 3, I feel like that's always great to kind of do at the end of multiple sessions. And then obviously we know what to do with the data, right? How we improve ourselves. Here's some additional resources, and you'll have all this information as well. We have Loom, which is a free screen recorder, Scribe, which create a step-by-step guide for you. Videatives, this is really cool. If you've never heard of Videatives, you have to check it out. You type it in, it's literally, you can search and it has like a list of maybe up to 500 different types of videos, and it has short clips demonstrating scenarios in child development education specifically. So these are all videos you could share within your trainings relevant to like what your topics are, and all child development. Tango, which creates a step-by-step guide too. Of course, there's Prezi, but Prezi literally made the switch and it's all AI. It's called Prezi AI now. So it's an interactive AI type of PowerPoint, if you want to say. And then Future Me, and that's one thing that I use in a lot of my trainings now. And if you've never heard of it, Future Me it's almost like when you have them at the end say, all right, what's one thing you're going to change as a result of this training? So what they do is it's done digitally. And with this digital version, they can write themselves a future email. They can set it 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. You can even set it 10 years in advance. and write yourself an email as to follow up, like a follow-up tool, as far as like, did I make this change as a result of this training? So I feel like that's always fun to kind of get something after that, the training. One last thing I just want to share. Is there any questions in regard to anything we've reviewed today? And the hour goes by quick. At one point, I'm like, what if I don't take an hour? And then they're like, no, Brooke, you talk a lot, so you're going to be fine. So I guess I was a little over, so I apologize for that. Try to squeeze a bunch of the information in, but just a little bit here. Our future mini trainings. I know I heard back from a few folks that you didn't receive the initial invitations for any of the trainings. So we're going to send this out on a monthly basis just to kind of promote this. But our next training is going to be by Jillian Scanlon, the infant mental health director, and she's going to talk about making meetings meaningful, supporting staff and provider wellness, which is going to be great. We're also going to talk about Slack. We're going to have how to use Slack for peer engagement. We're going to talk about tips and tricks for Canva and Constant Contact when it comes to like registration and like how to register for a training or utilizing that for eval and creating things. We'll talk about the early learning hub, and we'll talk about evaluations and training for trainings and events as well. Those are our topics that we have. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for speaking with me 6 minutes over. I hope you guys learned one or two things to bring back with you. I will make sure to share out the notes that we all took and the PowerPoint as well. And I hope you have a wonderful first day of spring and hope to see you guys soon. Thank you for joining.